I'm Erin Spain. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing this living room and home office makeover with you. This was a project that I took on during quarantine, and I really wanted to transform this space from a giant chaotic mess into a peaceful spot for me to relax or work or just kind of hide away from my kids when I need a break. And so that's what I did. And I will go ahead and link to everything I possibly can in the description box. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon. And if you have any questions for me, please leave those in the comment section. All right, let's get started. The first thing I do anytime I'm designing a room is create a mood board. Sometimes it's just a really basic collection of inspiration that I pin to my Pinterest boards, and sometimes I source specific items and put together my own mood board in Photoshop, which is what I did for this room. The room may not always end up looking exactly the same as my mood board, and I may not always incorporate exactly the same items, but I can at least get an overall feel for the style I'm going for in the room and the specific color schemes or patterns that I want to include. I don't include every single item in the room, but just a few items to get a general feel for the direction I'm headed with the space. You can find more details about this mood board and item sources in my blog post, which is linked below. I love creating these mood boards though because they allow you to play around with placement and scale too, which is great for someone like me who really finds that sort of visual helpful. Okay, this is super embarrassing, and I can't believe I'm showing you this, but this is the room before. And no, it was not staged to look horrible, it really did just look horrible. This room had become a catch-all for junk, and at this point was only being used for storage, which is sad because it's a great space it was just going to waste. So the first thing I needed to do was clear the room out before anyone could report me to the show hoarders, which, by the way, if you were considering doing so, your concerns are valid. But anyway, I needed to clear out the room so I could start with basically a blank slate. I moved most of this stuff to our basement, and then I got rid of a few things and relocated other stuff to other spaces in the house. For now though, I just needed it all out of the way. I ordered a couple things for this space, but my goal was to make over this room with things I already had on hand or things that I made. I was doing this on a very tight budget and also during quarantine, so I didn't want to venture out to buy things. I ordered a pair of chairs, a lamp, and some throw pillows and blankets, and I will link to all of that and sources for everything else in the room in the description box below. I'll also link to tutorials for things that I made for the room. I ordered this lamp, which had to be put together, and I really love it for this space. I was going for more of a modern boho casual style in this room, and I think this lamp fits in really well. Next, I spackled any holes or dents in the wall, and then when that dried, I sanded it smooth to prep for painting. I painted the walls using Behr Marquee in the color White 52, and I actually had a gallon of this left over from when I painted our playroom, so I didn't have to go out and buy any paint. I always use an angle brush to cut into the edges and corners, and then I go over the rest of the wall with a roller. I ended up applying 2 coats total, and this paint has primer built in, so it has really good coverage. In case any of you are wondering about the existing color on the walls that I'm painting over, it was Benjamin Moore's Edgecomb Gray, which is sort of a light grayish, beigeish tan. And yes, by the way, you will see several wardrobe changes because this makeover took place slowly over a couple months. So this could have been completed in a weekend, but I had a lot going on at the same time, so I just took my time with this one whenever I had spare time to work on it, and I kind of made it my quarantine project. Okay, so after painting, it was time to arrange the furniture and lay down the rug. Laying down the rug meant more cleaning and then later more sweeping. It's amazing how much junk can end up on the floor in a room you never even use. But I love the rug I got for this room, and I will link to that in the description. I actually originally bought it to use in the playroom, but I liked it better in here. I always get a lot of questions about that old card catalog, and you can find the whole backstory on my blog, which I will link to in the description. Long story short, my grandparents rescued it from an abandoned school building owned by a family friend, and then we moved it in pieces from Indiana to Atlanta. And then I restored it. It was in really bad shape, and several of the drawers were broken, which is why the bottom row has jars instead of drawers. And a lot of people ask me what I store in there. I actually store craft supplies in it, and it's one of my favorite pieces that I own. I just love pieces that have a story or a special meaning, and plus it's nostalgic since it reminds me of going to the library when I was a child. Another thing I ordered for the room was a pair of faux leather chairs, and I really love them and they're a great value for the price. And of course I'll link them below. I did have to put them together, but assembly was super quick and easy and just required screwing the seat to the base using the bolts that it came with and a hex key. The most time-consuming thing about it was just removing the foam that was wrapped around the base and taped on to protect it. One thing I love about these chairs is how large the seat actually is. It was a lot larger than I thought it would be since I ordered them online and I wasn't really sure what to expect. But they're nice and sturdy too, which is a must for a house full of boys. By the way, that card catalog is super heavy. I made those hanging shelves you see on the wall, and I will link to that tutorial for you. The next step though was styling those shelves in the card catalog, and that's always a really fun process. I typically try to incorporate plants and books. Those are sort of my main go-tos whenever I'm styling, but also little items that I've collected over the years end up in my decor, like my little geode collection, which you'll see in a minute. And I try to combine different colors and textures and vary the heights of the objects on the shelves. So also one quick styling tip, objects typically look better grouped in odd numbers. And I also rearrange things frequently, so the next time you see photographs of this space, it may look totally different. You just never know. I picked up a few small succulents from the grocery store and they only had pink and green pots available, so I just spray painted those white. Never underestimate the power of paint. It really is such an easy way to customize things or make things over without spending a lot of money. Next, I hung the mirror above the desk on the other side of the room. I stole this mirror from another room in our house, and since I was using wall anchors, sometimes if I don't have a large enough drill bit handy, I just wiggle my drill a little as I drill into the drywall to create a hole big enough for the wall anchors. Gotta just work with what you've got. After the mirror, I hung the hexagon shelves that I made, and I'll link to the tutorial for this. In that video, I also shared some tips for how to hang these. For my office area, I picked up an old filing cabinet for 10 bucks off Facebook Marketplace, and I gave it a quick makeover with spray paint. As you can see, I had a little helper for this part. For this project, first I removed the drawer pulls using a ratchet because they were bolted on, and then I just popped off the little label holder on the front and I was able to pop it back on afterwards. Then I used a spray paint with primer included for the cabinet itself, and I will link to everything I used in the description. It was a really windy day, as you can see, so I should have set up my spray shelter, but I didn't. But I'll go ahead and link to that just in case you're interested. For the hardware, I used spray primer first and then metallic gold spray paint. By the way, I've tried a lot of different metallic gold spray paint over the years, and this one is by far my favorite, so of course I will link it for you. And the label holder popped on and off really easily with no tools. Once everything dried, I just reassembled it all and moved it into my little office area of the living room. Oh, it looks so much better. 10 bucks, you guys. Can't beat that. I also built a coffee table with patterned plywood details and hairpin legs, and I made some large-scale abstract art for the space, and I'll link to both of those videos below. I made a very simple guitar holder to hang on the wall, which I made out of a 1x4 board and some dowels, and I will probably end up writing up a quick blog post for that soon. Now that I've finished this room, I spend so much time in here. Even though I have a desk, I usually lounge on the sofa with my laptop and edit photos and video and work on my blog, and it's just a really nice peaceful space to hide away and have some me time. And now for the outtakes. Hi, I'm Erin Spain. Welcome back to my channel. Whoa! Could you not crash into that, buddy? No, 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 no. Go on, car. Oh! It's okay. Want your bike? Hey everyone, I'm Erin Spain. Welcome to my channel. Okay. Oh.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna put together this chair that I bought. You gonna help me?
No.
Guys, quiet! Today I'm gonna share this boho. Oh wow. Okay. All right. I don't care who's being annoying. You don't hit each other. Thanks so much for watching. You can find me online at erinspain.com and on social media at erinspainblog. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and please be sure to check out some of my other videos. Thanks.